And we are back again. We're making more jar lanterns, but we're making smaller ones. These are taco sauce jars. Like sauce for tacos. I love this stuff. I eat it on all sorts of things. But yeah, we're going to do a couple of simple ones, and sometimes they get a little bit more complicated. I'm going to start out with, kind of a silly, fun jack-o'-lantern, a cat, and there's a skull, and another more kind of creepy, scary jack-o'-lantern. And then I'll expand on from there, but you'll see it's very easy. One thing I did learn on doing this is keeping my bottle of liquid leading full. And unclogging. Unclogging is the worst bit. You have to open it up and it's gunked up in there. Not good. But yeah, even with what they're doing, none of this is too complicated. Just kind of, I have learned that if you try to draw, straight or simple lines and just connect them at points, that helps a lot too. So yeah, here we go. Just drawing simple cat. Give him some whiskers. You don't have to give your cat whiskers, but I like trying to do it. It really makes me feel like I've expanded as an artist. That's another thing when you're doing these. The more you do, the better you get at them. I think I was loading up the stuff or getting the gunk out. That's what it was. I'm doing it simple. Maybe this is it. I don't know. Yeah, now we're going to move on to our more creepy jack-lantern. These are, even if you're not good drawer, these are pretty easy shapes, especially jack-o'-lanterns. They're mostly triangles. And here we go. Really kind of basic skull. He comes out a little bit Skeletor, but not too much. So yeah. Alright, we'll just ink and I'll take break and come back. Oh wait, before I do, yeah. I decided last minute that on the jack-o'-lanterns, I want to have the bumps. Mark those out. We go in and I draw another cat. It came out pretty neat, but this was kind of a mistake. Yeah, once again, not liking what I did, so I start over. So you can start over anytime you want. Even if you make it all the way to end, you're like, I don't like this at all. Don't be afraid if you reach a point and realize, all right, I need to erase my work. And there we go. Give him a little crack on top of the head and move around. So yeah, I was talking about the cat when I put the cat face on the other side. I think I end up redoing that as well. But it becomes sort of, you'll see, this will all show. Yeah, now we're just going to do the fill-in on the fronts and stuff. I will say when you do these, especially the bigger parts, pick out one side and then do it and let it dry, and then you can work on the others more easily. Yeah, see, I decided that I didn't like that, all of that cat face, so I start over. Don't work very well. Yeah, you can start to see the kind of problem of doing it is you see the one cat face, but you're seeing the other one through it too. This is me experimenting, but I decided not to go that way. Okay, now I take a break, and I'll be back. Decided to come back and have a talk with you when we work on the skull. The black comes out okay. You end up having to use a couple of coats sometimes to get it, not just black and it's more opaque because black with light going through this weird thing anyway, but also to get it to be not so splotchy. And I can also point out right now with the cats, I'm adding a little bit extra around it. Oh yeah, it's starting on. These bottles have neat pattern on the top. I guess it's supposed to be southwestern. We'll start laying it down. Give cats. I think all the cats I've done this year had green eyes. I need to do one with orange or yellow eyes or another color. But yeah, you go with the black and it won't come out even every time. Or you'll see, I think, here in a minute when I add more in. You probably saw it on bigger jars. But yeah. Yeah, just going in and filling in. Like I said on the other ones, make sure when you're doing this, you try to get as into the corners as possible. You want the edges. Get it in there, or else you'll have like spots of white sticking out. That is less than favorable. Alright, just filling in. I'll be back again. Alright, going back over the top. You don't have to cover whole top or even other. I think on jack-o'-lanterns I left a lot of empty space for this light to come in. That gave it kind of a. But for cats, I wanted a little bit more to really spread out. Anyway, and then I do, kind of my blocking gradient down the sides. I originally thought about having little cats, but I couldn't get them to quite work out. So just, mixing them out of the liquid leading. And here we go, filling in with the ghost. This again is, I think this is the bright white. This is the one that's a bit more opaque when it dries. Yeah, see, you can't tell because I don't have the other. But the other is noticeably clear. Now refilling our leading bottle, I'm just going to kind of draw some bones on the side. And I think, and on the back I give it some vertebrae. I didn't go super complicated or realistic. It's kind of, boxes with extra boxy arms kind of sticking off. Here's another thing I learned over time is if you want more of a pink, you can lay down red and then white over it, or you can do it the other way. Usually, if you want it, I would lay down the main color, like the red first, and then the white on top, and kind of thin it out. And then I decide I do one cat as orange cat, other cat as black cat. You can do whatever kind of cat you want. I do want to practice more though on doing like tabbies and stuff. This comes out okay, but I think I can make it better. Another weird one with the cats is you can't really see the eyes. Like you kind of want the lights in there, but before that it's not so good. Also, I'll point out, like I said, working on like the front and then the back. With the jack-o'-lanterns, I did the front in one side and then I did the back in the other. That's just me going in and filling in some empty spots I saw. But yeah, just take your time, fill it in. I don't want you to think I move this fast. This is it. Many hundreds of times the speed, so there you go. Okay, let's see what we'll take another break and then come back. Alright, now I'm pretty much done with the main body on, I think, all of them, or at least most of them. I'm going around and giving it a little bit of detail, some flair. I'm going in and adding stuff to the Kit Kats. This is the black. See how you can see through the other side? It's kind of weird to do this way, but I think it came out okay. I think maybe next time I'll do tuxedo cat or something. Yeah, there I am trimming off some of the stuff from the bottom. This is one thing I will say when you're doing these. You can go all the way to the bottom if you want and cut it off, but you need to make sure you leave it setting either with the bottom up in the air or get some parchment paper. Parchment paper is infused with silicone, so nothing really sticks to it. Okay, so the white on the skull, I remember now, I did the snow white, which is the less opaque, and then over that I did the bright white. Because I wanted it, white, not this kind of grayish fog. But sometimes that looks good too. So you decide what you like best. And here we go, decorating. I wanted the top of jack-o'-lanterns to kind of look like top of pumpkin, like stem and leaves and stuff. So I did like one green and then another. On the happy one, I did Kelly green and the leaf green. And on this one, I did I think it's called ivy green. And then maybe the leaf, I don't really remember. Yeah, and adding a little bit more detail on the back. Just some basic kind of lines, kind of like how you would have the real leading on stained glass, and then I mark out the edges. You know, you can always add more detail. And once again, this stuff is pretty forgiving. You have sharp scalpel or craft knife, then you can just cut it and peel it off. Oh yeah, I don't know what I did with this footage. It went away in this bit. You missed me painting, basically just painting in, I think, on the skeleton, maybe some of the cat. Okay, so I end up doing like this cool rainbow thing on the back of this one. Because on the sides and the front, kind of, I done like the purple, and then the violet purple. So on this one, I start with, the violet purple, and then I just do a basic kind of rainbow thing. It looks pretty good. It looked really neat with the lighting. I don't think I have shot of back, but yeah. Just keeping it real simple. See, popping the holes. There you go. This is it. These are, once again, very easy. It is coming up on the end of painting them, and getting the lights in them was a bit of a problem, so I had to end up buying some. The votives I usually would use would not fit in the hole. They were just too fat. And here we go. Yeah, I'm using that next, like the Kelly green, I think, on top of the ivy on this one. Yeah, just filling in some inside to fill it in. So yeah, that's pretty neat. Yep, see, there it is, that grass green, or I forget what it's called. So, and then giving it different layers. I decided to make them like crowns, give them multiple layers. And then here in a minute, I take a little dip, because there's like these ridges, and then you can kind of see there are these like bumps around it. So I just top the ends of the bumps, I think, with my citrus yellow and then the pumpkin orange. So I'm getting better at remembering colors. Yeah, that's it on these, and then I leave like the rest of the top is clear. So back to the lights. I was originally thinking that I was going to, all right, we have to hold on. So I wanted to have a bit of diffusement in it. I'd had pretty good luck with the ghost I did earlier. So I decided to use some more of this glass etching cream, armor cream. I just poured some in and swirled around so I got the hold of everything, and then literally left it. You don't really have to leave it. I think it's like 5 minutes. But I would usually just let it sit overnight or even all day, which is what I did with these. Partially because I was getting tired. But no, yes, I had to take a break. Biggest problem I ran into, I think at some point, I know this is the second bottle. I ran out on the bigger ones. So yeah, just making sure there's enough and it totally coats. And then pulling the cap off to let it dry. And then once if I had thought about this to begin with, I would have etched the insides before I painted them. But I didn't. But this stuff, once it dries fair, like you don't want to I'm sure leave it just underwater all the time. But, get your water as hot, pretty hot, like as hot as you can really stand it. And then you just pour it in and shake it up and dump that out. And do that a few times and you'll be able to get it all out. All right, so here we are with the lights. Like I said, the votives would not fit. And I thought about using some of those AA battery holders I have and making something, but I couldn't figure out a good way to keep it, kind of together. So I remembered these lights. For a friend of mine made some antenna for aliens with something like these. And they're just small little twist-on lights. You put them in balloons or other small spots. I had glued those to the cap so they point down. I was really impressed they came with spare batteries. And there you go. Here it is. Our 2 pumpkins, our cat, and our skull. Okay, hope you enjoyed. Come back next time. We do something different with, more of kind of the same.